The others came drifting in. "Altamont calling Ludens," the scientist from Fort Ridgeway was saying into the radio. "Monty to Jim, can you hear me?" Silence. "We'd better get ready for another attack," Birdie Edwards said. "There's another gang coming from down that way. I never saw so many Scourers." "Maybe there's a reason, Birdie," Tenant Jones said. "The enemy is after big game this time." "Jim, where the devil are you?" Altamont fairly yelled into the radio. And as he did, he knew the answer. Ludens was in the village, away from the helicopter, gathering tools and workers. Nothing to do but keep on trying. "Here they come," Reader Rawson warned. "How far can these rifles be depended on?" Birdie Edwards wanted to know. Altamont straightened, saw the second band of savages approaching about 400 yards away. "Start shooting now," he said. "Aim for the upper part of their bodies." The two auto-loading rifles began to crack. After the first few shots, the savages took cover. Evidently they understood the capabilities and limitations of the villagers' flintlocks, but this was a terrifying surprise to them. "Jim!" Altamont was almost praying into the radio. "Come in, Jim!" "What is it, Monty? I was outside." Altamont told him. "Those fellows you had with you yesterday, think they could be trusted to handle the guns? A couple of them are here with me," Ludens inquired. "Take a chance on it. It won't cost anything but my life, and that's not worth much at the present." "All right, hold on. We'll be there in a few minutes." "Ludens is bringing the helicopter," Altamont told the others. "All we have to do is hold on here until he comes." A naked savage raised his head from behind what might, 200 years ago, have been a cement park bench, and he was only 100 yards away. Reader Rawson promptly killed him and began reloading. "I think you're right, Tenant," he said. "The Scourers have never attacked in bands like this before. They must have a powerful reason, and I can think of only one." "That's what I'm beginning to think too," Verner Hughes agreed. "At least we've eliminated the third of your possibilities, Tenant, and I think probably the second as well." Altamont wondered what they were double talking about. There wasn't any particular mystery about the mass attack of the wild men to him. Debased as they were, they still possessed speech and the ability to transmit experiences. No matter how beclouded in superstition, they still remembered that aircraft dropped bombs, and bombs killed people, and where people had been killed, they would find fresh meat. They had seen the helicopter circling about, and had heard the blasting. Everyone in the area had been drawn to the scene as soon as Ludens had gone down the river. But they seemed to have forgotten that aircraft carried guns, although they did spring to their feet and start to run at the return of the helicopter. However, most of them did not run far. Chapter 9. Altamont and Ludens shook hands many times in front of the HQ house, and listened to many good wishes and repeated their promise to return. Most of the microfilmed books were to be stored in the old church. They were taking with them only the catalogue and a few of the most important works. Finally, they entered the helicopter. The crowd shouted farewell as they rose. Altamont, at the controls, waited until they had gained 5,000 feet, then turned on a compass course for Colony 3. "I can't wait until we're in range of the fort, Jim. This is one report I really want to make," he said. "Of all the wonderful luck," he went on, "and I don't know which is the more important, finding these books or finding those people. In a few years, when we get them supplied with modern equipment and instructed in its use." "What's the matter, Jim? You should be even more excited than I am." "I'm not very happy about this, Monty," Ludens confessed. "I keep thinking about what's going to happen to them." "Why, nothing's going to happen to them. They're going to be given the means of producing more food, keeping more of them alive, giving them more leisure to develop themselves in... Monty, I saw the sacred books. The deuce! What were they? It. One volume. A collection of works. We have it at the fort, and I've read it. How I ever missed all those clues. You see, Monty, what I'm worried about is what's going to happen to those people when they find out that we're not really Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. End of The Return by H. Beam Piper.